Drugs are what you use to stop sex from making babies. Drugs are what you use when you need help making babies. And drugs are what you use when you're done making babies, or what we call menopause.
That's why the name of my book is Sex, Drugs, and Babies, because we're taking drugs from our first period to way after menopause. The way I think about the excess estrogens is like a tornado or like a funnel. And so drugs are by far and away the strongest things. And of the drugs, infertility drugs are by far and away, the many, many multiples of both hormone replacement and birth control pills. So those are the strongest things that we're going to add into our body as an excess, are exposed to all kinds of xenoestrogens, right? So estrogen-like substances in the meat, in the water, in the cheese, in the food, in the lawns, in the plastic bottles. Everyone went and started self-diagnosing. So, just because you're getting it in Whole Foods, or just because, you went to a compounding pharmacy and they're giving you something that you can put on your wrist, doesn't mean it's not hormone replacement. You're still raising your estradiol levels. You're trying to help with your hot flashes. You're trying to help with the night sweats. You're trying to help with the vaginal dryness, etc. Just because it's natural doesn't mean that it's not raising your estradiol levels and potentially becoming toxic.
The subtitle of Health Benefits of Estrogen Gene Testing is what I want each one of you to walk out of here and demand from a healthcare professional.
Everybody should have an estrogen gene test so that you know what your lifelong estrogen capabilities are. Like really young. Like ideally, you get this test at your first OBGYN visit. Because then it gets stuck in your head. Like, okay, I do not have normal, perfect estrogen health. So maybe, all of this excess estrogens that I'm confronted with are not going to exit my body in the most perfect ways.
And help them figure out if they can take hormones, to help them plan their fertility life schedule, and most importantly, what they can do to mitigate their risk and improve their estrogen health. Dr. Veltman is an expert in nutrigenomics. That means he tests genes that are not necessarily hereditary and they are not indicative of cancer risk. That means he tests genes whose function can be improved by diet, nutrition, and environmental changes. Dr. Veltman gave me an estrogen metabolism gene test, the results of which showed damage on every single relevant gene.
For simplicity's sake, there's a substance called Dimpro, and the bioavailable Dimpro is essentially like eating a room full of broccoli every day. The other thing for some of the other genes is fish oil, which a lot of people are taking anyway. And the easiest one is a really strong antioxidant. I, for one, just take mega doses of vitamin C. So your ovaries are where most of your estradiol are going to come from. And you produce a different kind of estrogen in your fat cells.
What the most shocking thing for me is that people who have cancer or even have cancer running in their family, they all know about the estrogen risk. They all know it. They all know about these risks, and they're the only ones. And I think that we should all know about them.